to tell you a little bit about my history here. I gave a little bit of a story in my push blocks video that I put on my main channel, where I talked about apprenticing with a older carpenter who was from Denmark, and he lost his little finger right up to there on the jointer that he was using when he was an apprentice, actually. I don't even think he was an apprentice at the time. I think he was just like basically a teenager helping out in this place and making some spare money, and wound up losing his finger from it. But it's things like that that will instill the respect that you may need for the rest of your life when you do this. Now, I've had some very close calls, but I've never had a very severe cut from using one of my tools, from using it inappropriately, that is. And I started doing this when I was 10 or 11 years old. I think the very first dangerous thing that I did was around 10 years old. I'm talking about tools and whatnot. Was 10 years old, and I borrowed my father's handheld circular saw, skill saw, and I used that for the very first time. And I snuck that out. I didn't have permission to use that. But I was 10 years old, and I didn't have a clue. Another time I borrowed his torch. Notice I'm saying borrowed. I borrowed his propane torch that he used for plumbing, because he was a handy guy too, just like I am, right? That's where handy guys get it, basically. You know, it's handed down through your family type deal. Anyway, I borrowed his torch, and I also borrowed a roll of solder, and I was going to make some, I was going to cast some coins. So I took, I don't know, it was well over an hour to carve out this piece of 2x4 with a face on it. I was going to make these coins from the solder. So I was going to melt that down and pour it into the mold that I made there. And that really didn't go well. And especially didn't go well when I melted it, and it melted onto my leg and burned through my pants at the time. I don't know if I was wearing jeans, probably. And I still have the scar on my leg. I'm not going to show you, though, but believe me, it's still there. My very worst injuries, as far as woodworking or carpentry or anything like that go, have been with using hand tools. I cut my thumb very severely. I really should have had it stitched up, but I was never that type to go and have more pain added to the pain from the injury. All I could think of is to kind of sew that up with a needle. That sounds painful. I'm just going to bandage this up. Anyway, I did that with a chisel. I was using the chisel as a plane, actually, planing the edge of this panel, and it slipped off and it went sideways like that. And lo and behold, my thumb was very close by, and it went from the knuckle on my thumb right up to the tip, and it split it wide open. Anyway, that was the worst cut that I've ever had with a sharpened tool in my lifetime. On the same thumb, quite a number of years later, actually, I was installing a window that was this big wooden window. And it was a tight fit in the opening, so I was using my hammer and a block of wood to persuade it to go into the opening. I really shouldn't have been doing that. I should have resized the opening. I should have made it so I didn't have to be pounding on that so hard. And I absolutely lambasted my thumb with that hammer and basically took the corner right off my thumb with the head of the hammer. And man, did that hurt at the time. And it hurt even more as the thing was healing up. Chisel, hammer, dangerous. Because I think part of it is because you feel more relaxed and more comfortable around those tools. You don't necessarily see the hazards that they present, and you tend to be maybe, possibly, I know I was at those times, a little bit more careless when you're handling them. So even though those were hand tool injuries, they informed me on being safer. And when I say being safer, I don't mean installing all the proper guards and stuff like that. I mean, thinking about what you're doing before you do it. What can possibly happen when you're doing something. You know, if you're cutting a very small piece of wood on a table saw, that's never the safest option. It's always better to cut the biggest piece you possibly can. But if you take the time to think about all of the things that could happen, which I'm talking about what could go wrong while you're doing that, then you're better prepared and you'll most likely won't experience any problems when you're making that cut. So along with kind of projecting what could possibly happen is I try to rate the activity in terms of importance. And what I mean by that is that you're going to be a little bit more angry if you injure yourself doing something that you really didn't need to be doing, or doing something, say, the hard way. I've done that myself before, actually, you know, trying to get boards apart and then, you know, throwing them down on the ground and then walked on a nail. And then I say to myself, how much are these boards actually worth? Is it worth me having a hole in my foot from walking on the nail? Another example of that is trying to do things maybe the fast way or the quicker way or the easier way. Sometimes it's better to do things the harder way. I'll give you an example. If you've got a small block of wood and you need to make a straight cut through it, of course, table saw is great for making a straight cut, but it's more risky to be cutting that small block of wood as opposed to cutting it on the bandsaw and then possibly planing it down to the line or sanding it down to the line even to make it straight afterwards.